Hello everyone, my name is Wayne.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are Your Bourbon Journey.
So we are on day 22. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I can't believe we're almost done. We've got today and only 2 more days to go.
2 more.
I might be a little sad because it's been a challenge to do this every day and to make sure we had something for you all to see each day. But it's also been really fun. I've had a good time so far.
Well, my liver called me the other day and basically said, when are you going to stop?
I mean, I've kind of missed doing our regular stuff, so I'm looking forward to, we've gotten a few bottles lately.
We have.
And we had this big trip to Louisville where we picked up some things.
Did?
If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. And so I'm looking forward to the next week or so to do some regular tasting. So we have a lineup of things we're ready to taste and share with you, but we got to get through the Advent calendar first. So talk a little bit about what we're going to do today.
Well, let's go ahead.
As if you all don't know if you've been following along.
Let's go ahead and discuss the situation that we have. Basically, we are looking for either a bourbon, a rye, or an American single malt.
That's that.
Mark.
And if we can guess the proof and the age along the way, that might help us guess exactly what it is, but
Exactly.
we may or may not be able to do that.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and check out the nose on this and see what we might be dealing with.
Okay, let's go ahead and use our schnoz. Cheers.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of wood. Oh, it smells so good and woody. I don't normally, a lot of times on the nose, if I'm getting a lot of wood on the nose, sometimes it's off-putting to me. This is not.
I'm getting a lot of confectionery sugar.
Really? There are some sweet notes, yes. Are you getting some nuttiness? The wood's almost nutty to me.
I am getting a lot of sweet notes.
Oh yeah, it's getting sweeter and sweeter the more it's around my nose.
This is a metformin moment for all you that are type 2 diabetics like myself. This is a really good one. Somebody out there, I love you. This is good.
But anyway, let's taste this because my nose is itching to try it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh. This is different than anything we've had like this week. It's just different. Wow.
Well, to steal a line I've been using earlier, well, butter me up and call me a biscuit. This is really good. Whatever it is, I hope we have a backup bottle to the backup bottle to the backup bottle.
We often have a backup bottle, but we don't often have a backup bottle, but we'll see.
This is really good.
Let's talk about some other things we're actually tasting because they're just seeing us really enjoy it. So let's tickle their palate a little bit more by telling them what we're tasting.
Okay.
I'm getting honey. Oh, that's the honey I'm getting. You were getting confectionery sugar. I'm getting like massive amounts of honey.
Confectionery sugar, cinnamon.
A cinnamon Danish. I love cinnamon Danish. I try to not to eat them because they're just so good, but I'm getting cinnamon Danish.
What?
Is leading me, I mean, I know we're not talking about initial category, but if it is like a cinnamon Danish and all these other things, and the honey and everything else, I'm leaning towards a wheater.
Could be. If it's a wheater, I think I know what it is.
Want to test the finish?
Because I've had a reaction to a certain place making a certain thing in a certain way, and I've always certainly enjoyed it.
He thinks he has something on the nose. All right, let's taste it for the finish.
Okay.
That is really nice. That wood note we were talking about is just staying there. It's a sweet wood. It is just so pleasant. Interestingly, I'm not getting like any spicy notes on the finish. It's just smooth, but it's lingering.
I'm going to give my first hint. I think it's very toasty.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's talk about the category. I already said I thought it was a wheater. Do you think it's a wheater?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's also made by a very sexy couple.
Well, what do you think the proof is?
112.
I was going to say 110. So there we go. He's 112. I'm 110. Maybe it's 111 because it's in the middle. How often have we gone like just like this and it's been right in the middle? Is that kind of funny?
Well, true.
That makes us an amazing bourbon couple.
If you say.
Anyway, so that's that. I don't know about the age on this though. The wood is making me think it's older.
If it's what I think it is, I'm going to say it's 8.
I don't know. I can't decide. So you're ready to make a guess?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I believe this is Neely's Family Distillery, and there was a bottle that we bought on a visit, and I think they had just released it. They had left the barrel wood out for 8 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, all barrels are seasoned.
Seasoned.
You know, the wood is seasoned prior to going to the cooperage to turn into a barrel. And this, if it is what we think it is, this particular group was wood that was seasoned outdoors for 8 years. I mean, a year is normal, 2 years sometimes, but this was seasoned outdoors for 8 years, which means it's already got all those different notes coming through in it. And then it's turned into a barrel. And then if it was Neely's, they put their magic juice in it. And I think this is their weeded that they put in it.
I think it is. It is without a doubt one of the top bourbons that I have had at a distillery during a tasting. There are things that I've bought and come home and drank and liked. We had the tasting there.
Which is a great thing about visiting Neely's, if this is Neely's, because they have a tasting bar there. You can do a full lineup, or you can just pick what they have out on the shelf and try it before you buy it, which is great. For most people. For us, it's problematic because if we really like it, because they typically do 375s versus 750s.
Which is a great idea.
Which is a great idea. We can have many of them open, but if that's the case, we typically buy at least 2 of it if we like it, because that makes a full bottle. Yes. And if we want a backup bottle, that means we have to buy at least 4.
Yes. But it's a great, honestly, the model is great low buy-in.
Yeah.
It can either be something where you decide to save money, or it can be later like, I wish it were a bigger bottle. But I think what they're doing is outstanding. I think this is that 8 year.
And I'll just say too, for someone who controls our bourbon room shelving, it's great you can have, we have a shelf just for Neely's, and I'm hoping that's what this is. If I'm not, I'm going to have to delete all this. But our shelf for Neely's, the great thing is we can have multiple iterations of what they do, because they're small bottles, and they put the little detailed label on the side, and I can stack them up, and I can have a bunch of Neely's on my shelf.
And the thing about the Neely shelf is it's one of the few shelves that we have that basically bends because there's so much weight on it. They have a flavor profile that really fits me, and combined with the fact that Royce and Rebecca are just great people.
Great people. Well, let's check and see what it is before we continue too much about them. What if we're wrong? We'd be really embarrassed.
Because what if this ends up being like...
don't say, but anyway, it's you. You, not you.
It's me?
It's you.
Oh,
Sample
it's you.
Sample you.
Is it you?
It is a wheated bourbon.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Oh, here's an interesting thing I didn't even think about when we were talking about age.
Okay.
Which makes me think we are completely right on who did this. It is 52 months old, but it was aged in a 30-gallon barrel.
Yes.
Which means it tastes older.
Yes.
Because you got to talk about the physics and how much coverage there is on a 30-gallon versus a 53-gallon barrel. So the physics of that says it tastes older because it's touching, more of it is touching the wood.
Yep. And for those of you that were into physics, you'll appreciate that. I was a history buff, so physics was not my thing.
I didn't take physics. I've studied it a little bit more since I've gotten to like
You're
bourbon.
a wife, so it just... You know.
Okay, this is hysterical. The proof? What did you say?
I don't remember, actually.
I think I said 110 and you said 112.
Yes.
The proof is 111. High five! We're in the middle again.
There you go.
So, We paid $51.74
That's it.
for a 375 milliliter.
Yes, and that can only
I don't think we
mean-
have any at 375s. Except
No.
we have a couple from Second Sight that are 375s.
That's true.
But they don't have a weeded.
That's true. So this is, read the title.
This is Neely's 375 milliliter, 8-year aged, air-aged barrel bourbon, and it was in barrel number 85. If you're really a geek and wanting to chase your barrels, it was barrel number 85.
This is an outstanding one.
Woo,
And
it's great.
Yes. I remember the day that we got
Yes.
it. We were sitting, we were at the distillery at the bar, and Rebecca was pouring it. We sat there, and I just remember we first started drinking it, and our reaction was, wow.
We love their weeded. The other thing we
Yes.
really love, we love everything they do, but they make probably the best 4-grain in the world. And their 4-grain is probably our favorite 4-grain because you taste every single grain.
Yes.
And lots
For me, it's the barometer of the 4-grain. That's really, to be honest, where I personally go ahead and gauge other 4-grains is off of them. Because
Yep.
I believe they are at the peak of it.
But this is a weeder, and this weeded is just so good.
So good.
And their wheat is always good because we have several of their weededs on the shelf. But that 8-year air season barrel was just amazing. And this is fantastic.
Now, I think Rebecca actually follows us. Rebecca Neely.
I think she does, yeah.
And boy, Rebecca, I tell you, I don't know if you guys still have this on the shelves at all.
It wasn't there last time we were there.
It wasn't?
No.
It.
I looked for it.
Oh, man.
Which is what I think we bought 6 bottles.
It's outstanding. So,
Yummy.
So to 2 people that we have met, chatted with, and gotten to know in the industry.
And really, really like as people.
Yes. They gave us a shout out, Royce did,
Mhm.
at the Kentucky Bourbon Fest in an event. And we really love you guys as people.
Absolutely.
And cheers to you. Merry Christmas to both of you. Merry Christmas to all of you that are watching out there. God bless you. Cheers.
Cheers.